In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane.
Welcome back to the show, Paul Amadeus Lane. You're in the Tech Zone. Hope you're having a fantastic day like I am. Being able to be with you. You have so many other things you can listen to, but you choose to listen to this show. I am honored, and I can't speak today, but I'm swallowing my words. But yesterday, I was doing some editing for an entertainment show that I host and produce, and I got an email from the friends over at the Consumer Technology Association. It's called a CTA brief. That brief had many stories of interest, and one of them really caught my eye firsthand. It was a story on, by 2022, it predicts that over 20 million PC gamers migrating to consoles. Right away, I called my buddy on the phone, Tony Polanco, gaming editor, just an all-around great person. I said, hey, Tony, I got to have you on to talk about this. This is something I want to put on this show this week. Can you hook a brother up? He said, absolutely. He was down. So without any further delay, let's bring my brother, Tony Polanco, on. Joining me right now, the Dominican Dominator, the man with the master plan, Rom You Death. Tony Polanco, what's going on?
Yo, yeah, man. I didn't even let you finish introducing me because I'm just so hyped to be on again, man. I always love being on your show, Paul. You already know, man.
Hey,
thank you for having me. And it's cool, and we're gonna get into it, obviously. But I love how you called me, like you didn't text me, you called me, like, yo, this happened. I need you on the show, and I'm like, just go. You know, it was amazing.
Because man, this topic is a hot topic that you and I talk about a lot. And before I get into it, had you seen the Avengers Endgame yet?
Oh yes, it was excellent, man. I went to see it on Friday afternoon. You know, it's funny, you know, not to get too off track because people are saying, oh, this movie's too long. Right. You know, we got to hold our bladders and stuff. I'm like, yo, you don't remember Lord of the Rings? We did the same thing, man. You know, so I was ready. But of course, I went to the bathroom beforehand, you know, just like, because here's my thing. And you already know, I travel 6 hours to go to LA, right? And because I'm in a wheelchair, it's hard for me to get on the thing. So I just hold it in for 6 hours. 3 hours ain't nothing.
Tell me about
you
it.
know?
My thing is, I got my money's worth. I love a 3-hour movie.
Yes.
And I don't have to get up and go to the bathroom. I have my leg bag with me. So I ain't even got to worry about it. You know what I mean? Advantages of being part of the handicapped community, right, bro?
Hey, there you go. You got it, man. But yeah, I mean, not, again, because this is a tech zone, not movie zone. But movie was excellent. My only complaint is going to sound crazy. I wish it was a little bit longer because we've been with these characters for so long. I wanted more of a departure for them, but it was incredible, man. Incredible.
Definitely. I'm gonna have you on one of my other entertainment shows. We're gonna talk about it. We'll give some spoilers and everything. So
right.
So I'm gonna get you up on that too. Okay.
All right, man. That sounds good.
Right.
By the way, I actually did a spoiler a cast for it over the weekend, which was a lot of fun. Go check that out over at thecoalition.com.
All right, we'll do that. But you know what? Yeah, like Tony talked about yesterday, I got this in my email from the CTA, and I was like, yo, Tony, man, check this out. It was a report that came out that they're estimating that by, I believe, 2022, that 20 million PC gamers may migrate over to consoles and leave the PCs alone. And I said, Tony, you're one of the experts on this, man. What was your take when you first saw this?
Well, you know, like we talked about, I was shocked because, you know, PC gamers are very loyal to their ecosystem, right? They, you know, a lot of them, not all of them, but some of them shun consoles and all that stuff. And I heard that. It was very surprising. I'm like, whoa, really? Like the PC master race is going to lower themselves to come down to our console peasantry level? But of course, you know, I read the report. I believe it was from Digital Trends, and the way they broke it down, it made a lot of sense. You know, basically they're saying that since consoles are becoming so advanced and TVs are becoming so advanced, the PC crowd that has systems that cost under $1,000, it makes more sense for them to migrate. And apparently this migration is already underway. So like the article isn't just putting out a theoretical thing. They're looking at the current data, right, and basing it off of that. So as I read, I'm like, okay, I see where they're going with this, you know, because, you know, before this, prior to this, and I know you agree, we thought it was going to be the other way around, right? Console players would move over to PC, and we saw a lot of that this generation. This generation definitely saw a huge resurgence or surgeons. I know that's not a word, of PC gaming. Back in the day, PC gaming was always there. PC gaming has been here since day one, right? But it was always relegated to the background, right? Only for a very small minority of players, right? Starting last generation, you started seeing a shift, right? Because graphics cards became, they didn't become, they weren't as expensive. And then this generation, things blew up. It's affordable to create your own PC. It's easier to create your own PC, and more companies are putting all their games on PC. It's very rare because back in the day, the running joke was like a console game comes out and it doesn't come out on PC for like 5 years. Right now, it's very rare for a console game not to have a PC counterpart. So, and as the article correctly states, the two worlds are, they're coming together. So
Yeah.
the lines are being blurred between consoles and PC. So, when I read it, and I'm sure, you'll link to it, people could read it for themselves. It makes a lot of sense, and I could see that happening. Like they said, 2022, so very shocking. But when you really think about it, it's not that surprising.
That's true. And when you look at what consoles are doing now, able to support the peripherals that were only on a PC gaming, the mouse, the keyboard, and all these other things, and it's really seeing that this marriage that should have happened a long time ago. Especially when I knew when consoles started having the USB connectors and everything, that this was going to be something that ones are going to start migrating and using, especially with the mouse and keyboard. And big props to the console manufacturers out there who saw this and adapted, and not thought, well, hey, well, now we're just going to have our joysticks and our different peripherals that we have, the hardware, and that's it. But to have this really shows that they're being innovative. But Tony, I just think about Alienware. I think about Dell and other gaming PC consoles. I know you built one from scratch. I had one built from scratch too. And when you look at just how every so often we have to upgrade our PCs, maybe we need some more RAM, maybe we need a bigger graphics card. With the console, once you get that console, you're basically set until the next iteration of that console comes out. So do you think that that's playing into the decision of ones migrating over to consoles and leaving the PCs behind?
Yeah, this generation we had the PlayStation 4 Pro, the Xbox One X, and there's no reason to believe that's not going to continue next generation. I fully expect the PlayStation 5 Pro and Xbox 2X or whatever they're going to call it. So that's definitely like making it like if you have a gaming PC that you built from scratch, right? You have to look over to the console space and you'd be like, why am I spending all this money on this PC when I can get a virtually the same experience on console? And like you said, now you use these peripherals like mouse and keyboard, because that's always one of the sticking points. Like, okay, if console players are going to be playing against PC players, the PC players are going to have a distinct advantage because they have a mouse and keyboard, right? Now consoles are going to have that as well, right? So, yeah, again, it all goes back to how things are just blurring, and now, because of computers or most games, they have x86 architecture. Consoles do, with the exception of the Switch. So it makes again, it's just this blurring that's going on. So I definitely believe that because of how powerful consoles are becoming and TVs, that you don't really obviously there's still going to be those really hardcore dudes that spend $2,000 on their PC or whatever. That's not going to go away, and computer manufacturers, parts manufacturers, all that stuff, they're going to keep making their money, but I think I guess the lower end guys, there kind of isn't a reason to stick with PC, since you're almost getting the same experience with consoles.
And one thing that this article brought out too, that I wholeheartedly agree with, was that consoles, making their consoles easy to upgrade. Do you ever think we'll see that where, let's say, the new PlayStation system, the new Xbox system, that you'll be able to upgrade? Because we can do that with Xbox with the hard drive. Remember when the Xbox One came out, you can upgrade your hard drive if you wanted to. But what about being able to upgrade a new processor? What about upgrading a new graphics card? Do you ever think the major console manufacturers are going to get down with that?
Yeah, I want to know who's going to try that first, modular system. And it's funny, because I'm old enough to have owned the Sega Genesis that had the 32X and the Sega CD that you plop on, to make it more powerful. It didn't really work in too much, but the idea was there, right? So it would be interesting to see like a modern, company like Sony or Microsoft go, all right, because yeah, like you said, they already let you swap out the hard drives. Why not let you swap out the graphics card? Why not let you swap out this, that, the other thing? I don't know if they're going to do it because these companies like to play things safe, but it would be kind of interesting to see that. But at the same time, that's going to introduce problems like, okay, what if you're going to have a player base that has the upgraded graphics card and then the base without it, things might go wrong there. But at the same time, PC's already having to deal with that anyway. So, and again, it keeps going back to the whole merging of the worlds, right? That's a thing that PCs have to deal with. Like if you're a game developer, you have to account for all these different types of systems out there. You can see that happening with consoles if they decide to make them more modular, like PCs are.
It's true. Well said. And one thing that the article didn't touch, that I was shocked that it didn't, and this is just my hypothesis on the situation, my brother. Here it is. I'm thinking you're going to start to see this shift too, because if you notice, PC components are a little bit more expensive than it has been in many years. And that's because of this trade war that's going on, these tariffs and everything. And all the disposable income that people had to maybe throw some more RAM in their system, a new graphics card. Some parts are up 20, 30, 35%. And if you balling on a budget, that just, cracked your budget. So here you can go get your PlayStation, get your Xbox, get your Nintendo, and you straight. And I think that's really playing into the dynamic of ones, putting their money where they can get the most impact of when it comes to this. And you can see how the console manufacturers has set themselves up to the point where they're not really held hostage to the prices going up, because if you look at PlayStation 4 actually going down a little bit, or at the same price it was maybe a year ago or so, but look at the PC parts, look at the PCs, man, and I think that's really damaging this market that a lot of people are not really talking about.
Yeah, there was something with cryptocurrency as well, like really jacking up the prices. I wish I would have read a little bit more on that, but that's apparently like it was making graphics cards cost an insane amount of money. So that's a factor as well, and also something that's probably going to lead to people just going, you know what, I'm not dealing with all this PC stuff, man. I'm going to over to consoles. And I really think with the PlayStation 5, they're promising 8K, which is ridiculous, right? But if they can hit 4K, 60 frames a second, I think we'll be good. I think like graphically speaking, gameplay speaking as well, like people just be like, I don't really need a PC. I know for me personally, like my PC is more powerful than my consoles, but I still play on consoles just because it's easier to play. And since I have a PlayStation 4, a lot of the games I play are already at 60 frames a second, like on PC. So I'm like, do I really need it to be 120 frames? I kind of don't. After that, I can't see the difference anymore. So I think a lot of people are definitely going to, go that route. As for myself, I'm probably still going to, have a beefy PC. Not really much for PC gaming, but more because I edit videos and all that, as you know, Paul. But it'll still allow me to play those games if I need to, But yeah, it's interesting, man, how quickly the world is changing when it comes to games. Just in our lifetime, 20 years ago, we wouldn't have even conceived of any of this stuff. So kind of how fast things are going is kind of interesting, especially within the last like 5 years.
Yeah, and that's a good segue to the PC market. The PC market will not die, and you brought up a very good point. Video editing. You and I both do editing. Content creation. That's going to be huge for the PC. And let's keep it real. To do some good editing, you got to have a beefy PC like some of these gamers. I mean, my latest PC I dropped like almost $3,500 on it, on parts and everything to get it beefy. And Tony knows if you don't have a PC and you're doing some editing, and if it ain't right, man, it can be a very frustrating experience. And that's, I think, the next domino to drop, man, when it comes to the consoles. And I haven't spoken to anybody about this. No one has told me anything on the condition of anonymity. This is just my spidey senses are tingling. My Jedi senses are going haywire. I'm waiting for consoles to get into content creation and allowing ones to be content creators on the console, Tony. I think that's on the horizon. And when you look at what PlayStation is doing with Dreams, even though it's not really a content creation type of game, but I think that's kind of testing the waters of one's creating and develop certain things. And I think we're going to see people being able to edit things on consoles, maybe even go live on a show on a console. Man, I think that's, because people do that kind of now on Twitch, when they're playing games and things like that. So I don't know, Tony. I'm seeing the consoles maybe making that shift towards that too. I don't know, all in one.
Yeah, I mean, with the content creation thing, people already kind of do that with streaming. You could stream directly from your console, and some people, like, they exclusively use their consoles to stream on Twitch. So that content creation is there. And it's funny because content creation is an all-encompassing term, right? It could mean anything. Yeah. The type you're specifically talking about where you're like building things from scratch. Yeah, that would be crazy. I never thought about that. Like, imagine if you could go into your console and render a movie or something, like a fully CG movie or something, or edit a video, because you could stream with your console and you could edit to a certain extent, but the tools are not as robust as you would find on like Adobe or Sony, Vegas or something like that, So yeah, that would be interesting. I want to know if like gamers would be interested, because I haven't really heard anybody talking about that. It just seems like most people, and it makes sense, they just want to play games on their console, but there's definitely that sect of gamers that want to do more, as the streamers have proven on both Xbox and PlayStation, and to a certain extent, Nintendo, even though Nintendo still needs to get their feet wet in that area, but yeah, it's definitely there. It's definitely going to, grow as the years go on.
Well said, my friend. So before I let you go, I'm going to break some breaking news. You're not really breaking news because he's been telling me this for the last couple times I had him on. Romudeath himself, he's going to break fanboys' heart this year at E3 because he's not going to be there. I don't know how fanboy is going to deal with it, man, you not being there. But you will be missed, my friend, and I totally get it, totally understand, because we know there's some things on the horizon in the gaming industry that's going to take a lot of our time coming up, man. So I totally get it, and just know, man, you will be missed, man.
Yeah, for sure. Like, don't get me wrong. It's like if things were different, I would go. But this is one of those years where it just feels like the industry is kind of in a holding pattern. We're not going to get new systems. We're not really getting many big games. Everything's pretty much coming out. So, just for me, and there's some personal stuff that I'm not going to get into. But I think for me, it's better to just hold out. I mean, think about it, man. Like, I remember when I was a kid, like dreaming about going to E3, and I've been lucky enough to go 6 years in a row. So I could skip a year, and it's not like I'm never going to come back. Like I'll be back next year when, PlayStation has a new system, Xbox has a new system, when things are really, really popping, but I'll definitely miss seeing you because that's the place where you and I, mostly congregate. But at the same time, and I had this in the back of my mind, there's a PSX this year. I'm going to be there. So, we may see each other yet this year, man.
We're looking forward to, my friend. So how can ones get at you and keep up with all the great things that you're doing with Throwdown and the rest of the crew over there?
Yeah, man. Follow me on the Twitters. I'm Romudeath, Romudeth. And if you check out my bio, it's going to have links to all my stuff. That includes Geek.com, Tom's Guide, which I'm doing some stuff for, the Coalition, and, of course, my podcast, Throwdown, which airs live on Twitch every Thursday and Sunday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Thursday, we cover news. Sunday, we do fan questions. A lot of fun stuff. I'm always busy, man. You already know how it is, man. But yeah, please go to Twitter, Romudeath, Romudeth, and I'm always down to talk, man. Hit me up and we could chat.
Awesome, man. Looking forward to it. And your boy Emilio, man, tell him I gave him a new nickname, man. His new nickname is Cool Breeze, man, because he's just chilled, man.
Oh, yeah, he's the chillest of the chill.
That's the homie right there. But, hey, man, great catching up with you, man. Looking forward to catching up with you real soon.
All right, Paul. Peace out, man.
Once again, a huge shout-out to my man, Tony Polanco, giving his insight about the story about PC gaming and how 20 million users may migrate over to console gaming. Does not mean the end of the PC because we use it a lot with editing and everything. But really interesting story. All right, well, I'm going to make like a tree and get out of here. And until next time, we'll see you, folks. I'm Paul Amadeus Lane. You're in the Tech Zone. Remember, connect with me, paulamadeouslane.com. Until next time, take care, folks.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone.